What's going on, my little piglets? It's your BFF Pork Chop here, and I'm coming at you with another update with Pork Chop. So, keeping the tradition going for this. Look at that. I'm almost out of this stuff, man. It's crazy. Had that bottle for 3 weeks. I think I've used it more this week than I have any other week. Alright, so going ghost. There we go. So, today, I got to go on a little field trip. And by field trip, I mean for the wholesaler, instead of calling one of the part-time delivery drivers in, they asked me to go to Lubbock today. And Lubbock is in I thought Lubbock was in full-blown lockdown, but I got there and there were people. Well, Lubbock's a busy place to begin with, but there were people all over the place. Not compared to here. As of right now, besides my car, there are 3 cars on the road right now at 10 o'clock. It's actually 9:59. So I went to Lubbock, and I had 2 stops in Lubbock, and of course, they were warning me. Luckily, nothing happened, but they were warning me as I was leaving. They're like, hey, you might get pulled over, you might get stopped, you might have a cop ask you, what are you doing in Lubbock? What are you here for? What's your purpose? Just be prepared to stop and get pulled over. Fantastic. So luckily that didn't happen. I got in and out without being detected, it seemed, which was nice. And so I had 2 shops to deliver to, so I delivered at the 2 shops and called it good. And I drove straight back, and the whole way there and back I was catching up to a podcast. When I worked at the competitor for the wholesaler a couple years ago, I listened to podcasts like crazy. When I wasn't listening to music, or when I wanted to listen to something cool instead of just music, something different, I would just pop on one of the podcasts. And there's this podcast, I recommend them, they're really cool. They're called Halloweenies, and it's just a group of friends that get together like a round table, and they talk about they first talked about the Halloween franchise. So they did every single Halloween movie. They dedicate a full episode to just the one movie. So they would do a movie, an episode, and some of them run an hour and a half, 2 hours, 2.5 hours. They go a long time, and they're really interesting. They have different topics they have different viewpoints and stuff like that. So they did the Halloween franchise. I just finished besides the remake, the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. And they've started getting into the Friday the 13th franchise this year. So the Nightmare on Elm Street one is something that they started a couple of years ago, I believe, and they just now finished it November, December, something like that. And I think they started Friday the 13th, I think, in January. So they so they're cool. It's pretty much the 2 main guys, and then they get a couple of their friends to come in and talk, and then they revolve. They alternate their friends out. One will have this this friend that lives in Houston, or Austin. So they Skype him in, and he talks, and he's not in every single episode. And then once in a while they'll have a female friend of theirs come in and talk about the movie, and it's cool. Go check them out. Halloweenies. They are on Spotify. They are on iTunes, I believe, and they are on the Spreaker and radio.com. I think they're on that also. They're everywhere, I think. So, but yeah, that's my recommendation. Halloweenies. HALLOWEENIES, I think is how I spelled it. So there's your keyword there, is Halloweenies. So there you go. Keyword is Halloweenies. And then today at Pizza Planet, my first delivery was to an apartment complex. And I read their request at the bottom. It said, please leave food at the door. And I instantly was like, okay, no big deal. I'll leave their food at the door. But I wasn't expecting the nice tip that I got leaving it at the door. And the tip was very nice. And when I got to the door, it was an apartment complex, like I said. They had a note on the door for me. It said, thank you for your service and being an essential employee. Here's your X amount of dollar tip. Thank you. And I rang the doorbell and walked away because that's what they wanted. So I decided to give them a call from the parking lot, and she didn't answer. But I called her and said, "Hey, this is Colin at Pizza Planet once again, just confirming that you got your order." I did ring the doorbell and left it on the front porch at your request. And I just want to say thank you so much for the note. You guys were my first delivery, and you started off my night right. And I just wanted to say how much I appreciate you. And have a blessed night. And that's what I said. And it ultimately just it pretty much defined the night, because I only got stiffed once, and it really irked me. It was this house that had this giant, I want to say probably like 7 or 8 foot fence of a chain link fence around their property, and there was a little girl on the front the front steps, and she was I think she was drawing with chalk. And then she looked at me and was like, "Hey, are your parents home?" And she's like, "Uh-huh." And she's like, "Grandma, pizza's here." And then Grandma came out, and so did 4 dogs, 3 ankle biters, and then like a big dog. And the big dog was all like jumping on the fence, and just like and like actually like legitimately looked like it was gonna freaking attack me. And of course they're like, like, "Get back, get back, get back." And I'm laughing at the dog the whole time, and I was like, "Wow, you're nuts, aren't you?" And they just looked at me, and of course they didn't leave me a tip, but I was just like, man, I was like, get that dog under control. And then you had like 2 chihuahuas that were like biting at each other's like skin. Like there was like back and forth, and then there was like a 4th dog like, "Get me out of here." So it was kind of interesting. But he's like, "Take me with you." It's like, "No, I'm sorry, your fate is sealed." So that was funny. But other than that, dude, it was a nice night. I actually got to see an old friend that I used to work with. We're Facebook friends, but we haven't seen each other in a long time. And she left a note saying, "Please leave at the front door." But I recognized her by her name on the ticket. I was like, I think I know who this is. We used to work at Jimmy John's together back in my Jimmy John's days. Great person. She's fantastic. I miss working with her. She was fun. But she was acting kind of weird, and I was like, "Oh, it's good seeing you. How have you been?" She's like, "I'm doing good. I'm just glad I have a job." Just like being kind of weird. I was like, "Okay," but I still kept talking. I was like, "Well, it was good seeing you. Have a good night." And she left me a couple more bucks she already left me a tip, but she left me a couple more bucks because it was me. And she messaged me like not even 2 minutes after I left her house. She's like, "Sorry, I'm really taking this distance, this personal distance thing really seriously." And I was like, "No, you're good. I totally understand. It was nice seeing you." She was like, "It was good seeing you too. Be safe, and I'm glad that you're doing well." And I'm like, "Yeah, you too. Glad that you're doing well." She's really cool. She's actually I don't know if she's dating or if she's married to one of the former GMs that I used to work with at Jimmy John's, and he was a pretty cool guy too. But that was cool. I got to see somebody that I haven't seen in a while, and I had a pretty nice night when it came to tips. And then tonight when I get home, I'm eating. My wife made in the crock pot. She made it's like apple honey pork chops or something like that. Like you put it in the crock pot, you put the apples in, or you put the pork chops in, then you put apples and a little bit of honey. And then after a while, after a few hours, you put in more apples and more honey, and then you just eventually add more and more and more, and then you let it sit for a while, and it's supposed to be fantastic. So I cannot wait to eat that when I get home, and I'm actually a block away from the house now. So there you go. I feel like these trips are getting quicker and quicker for some reason, but yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. Also got to play a little bit of Around the World with Nate and Casey, and Nate beat my ass again in Around the World, and because I kept getting stuck at one part, and then when you chance it, you go back if you miss, and it was a whole ordeal. But yeah, Nate's really good at Around the World. So I want to talk about one more thing, and of course it's usually football. When I get back to the house, it's usually football. I'm going to call out a franchise. And if Andrew's watching, Andrew, you know, cover your ears because it's your Indianapolis Colts. Okay, so they, in a report, pretty much said, like, because at the time, you know, there was Tom Brady, there was Phillip Rivers, they could have traded for Nick Foles, they could have gotten this quarterback, could have gotten that quarterback, could have gotten this one. And they said that Phillip Rivers fit their scheme better than Tom Brady. Excuse me? Like, is that real life? This isn't The Onion? This isn't, you know, Babylon Bee or anything like that? It's a legit thing. They're like, Phillip Rivers fit our schemes better than Tom Brady would have. If you mean by not getting to the Super Bowl or the playoffs for the rest of that quarterback's career, yeah, you're right. Yeah, he fit you like a glove. But my God, man, when Tom Brady is on the board, you fight for Tom Brady if you need a quarterback. My Cowboys didn't need a quarterback, so obviously we didn't worry too much about it, because the Dak signing is going to happen any day now, is what the projections are. That we're going to sign him to the contract that he wants, and then, you know, we're going to pay an arm and a leg for him. But we'll see how that goes. But anyway, no, if I have a choice between Tom Brady, the GOAT, who's won 6 Super Bowls, has been to 9 if I'm not mistaken, is just the definition of a badass quarterback, and is just overall the definition of just, you know, an athlete that just, you think of the NFL, you know, Tom Brady's a figurehead. And Phillip Rivers, you know, God bless him, but he's no Tom Brady. And watch him be like totally better than Brady this year, because I don't know. I think Brady has a good thing going in Tampa Bay versus the Indianapolis Colts with Phillip Rivers. But no, it's night and day. It's apples and oranges, man. I take Tom Brady over Phillip Rivers. So if you're a football fan, question number 1. Would you have rather have taken Phillip Rivers or Tom Brady in the free agency market? Let me know. So question number 2 is, what is your favorite type of pork chops to eat? Yeah, I'm a cannibal tonight. I'm going to eat my own people tonight. What's your favorite type of pork chops to eat? And question number 3 is, if you can watch any movie over and over and over and over again during this whole quarantine, you only had one movie to watch this entire quarantine, the 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 freaking years, whatever it's going to be, what movie would it be and why? So there you go. You got the keyword, you got your 3 questions, and I'm just going to end it at that. Guys, thank y'all so much once again for dropping by. Jerry, thank you for the comment yesterday. I appreciate your concern. I appreciate your honesty. He pretty much got onto me for going back to work in the time that I did. I did get cleared by a manager to go back to work at the wholesaler, and Pizza Planet. Like I was good. Like I was good, and even my wife kind of, you know, obviously, you know, she's a good wife, so she came to my side and told Jerry, yeah, he was good. Like, I guarantee you, he's good. We're taking the proper precautions. Like, I got to shower when I get in there. I got to take my shoes off and spray them with, like, this alcohol spray. I got to wipe down my keys, my wallet, and my phone. Got to take my dirty clothes and instantly put them in the washing machine. Got to sanitize my hands. I'm going to probably shave tonight, too. I'm going to obviously keep this and trim this, but I'm going to shave all this off because I got a lot of crap right here. This is my quarantine non-shaving thing, man, because I haven't shaved since this quarantine thing started, it seems like. But anyway, guys, thank y'all so much once again for dropping by. Please like the video. Please put the keyword in, and please answer those 3 questions. I greatly appreciate y'all. And always remember my little piglets. Call him Pork Chop. Loves y'all the most. Y'all take it easy, guys, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye, guys.